Okay. Oh, thank you all. So I'm just getting started with all the things, and I'll be checking the chat on the same system. So you might see this interrupted screen. I'm really sorry about that. So let's get started. Okay. So today we are actually going to talk about a session that is driving today's CMS with tomorrow artificial intelligence. So before getting started, I would like to introduce myself a bit. So I'm Jyoti Singh. I am a technical lead at Shrijan Technologies and a Drupalist since last 4.5 years. And I totally love this guy. Can you see that cute guy? Okay. So let's get started. So for some of the things that I'll be covering in the session would be what is machine learning and AI, and some of the use cases of the artificial intelligence in the businesses in the Drupal system, basically. Then it would be AI in Drupal ecosystem. How does it fit into the system? Some questionnaires around it, and then some of the services that I've been using in my system for quite a long time. That is about Azure Cognitive Services and Google Vision API, and then it would be followed by a demo for all of them. So basically, since we are remote during these DrupalCon, so I want to make sure that this session is quite interactive for all of you, and it doesn't have more of a theoretical driven thing, but we'll be also talking about something more business oriented and more comprehensive thing that we can implement in our system. So sorry guys, I'll be taking all the questions in the end of the session. I'm really sorry about that. So let's get started. So what is machine learning basically? Machine learning is a system wherein you feed in a data to your system, which acts as a machine and then analyzes and interprets your data and act accordingly. So there have been a lot of confusion around what is artificial intelligence basically and what is machine learning. So there have been a lot of confusion. A lot of people have been asking around. Okay, we've been pitching this AI thing for a long time as to how we can have this in our system. So basically, some of the question then came up: what is AI and what is ML? Isn't it the same thing, one and all thing? So basically, pictorial representation wherein we can see what is the difference between artificial intelligence, what is machine learning, and what is deep learning is depicted here. So basically, since this is a beginner session, so I wanted to have a brief introduction about all these things before moving on to the implementation part. So basically, machine learning is a subdomain of artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is a huge domain, right? Wherein the we treat the system or the machine as a human. So similarly, like a human grows and learn thing and react automatically. Similarly, we are making the system as intelligent as a human, near human. So this is what artificial intelligence talk all about, wherein machine learning is a part of artificial intelligence, wherein we feed in a data to a machine and it analyzes those data and react accordingly. It isn't enough smart enough to evolve itself, just like artificial intelligence system would be, but it is almost learning as we are going on feeding the data to that system. And similarly, deep learning is also a very small domain in artificial intelligence. That is, it's a neural network adapt and learning of vast amount of data. So it is a deep learning. So we won't be going deep into touching all those things. So this was basically to give you an idea as to what all these actually mean, right? So one of the example to give about the machine learning, to give a brief idea, is Netflix. So everybody is using Netflix right now, right? And Netflix is investing huge amount of its money into machine learning system. So all the recommendation that you see, all the thumbnails that you get attracted to while you are scrolling down all your uh, videos that you want to actually see are all being generated through machine learning. So what they are doing is gathering huge amount of data from their customer and making their system smart enough to analyze those data and experience a better customer level experience in their system. Okay. So, talking about the market, so as I already told you, we'll not be talking about more of the technical things, but also the business aspect of this thing. So, as you can see from this graph, the artificial intelligence market from 2014 to 2025 has taken a leap, exponential, almost step towards increasing this market. So as you can see, that 2014 there was 418.9 USD million business to 35,870 million business to 2025. So this is what artificial intelligence market potential really does have. Okay. Then there is if this was a very interesting stats that I came across, that is regarding the adoption rate of artificial intelligence by some industries. So as you can see, some of the uh, biggest changes evolving are around technologies and communication, media entertainment, just like the Netflix. Then there are energy and resources as well. There is almost 27% adoption there. Then there are many bank services and financial services that are moving towards adopting an artificial intelligence system with almost like 28% adoption. Similarly, I've seen a great response over the healthcare and education system that they are moving towards the adoption of artificial intelligence. Currently, the system is not really very positive toward its adoption. It's not a whole complete way wherein it has adopted it, but really it's moving toward a better way of adopting the artificial intelligence in its near future. Okay, so my question was that can Drupal also have a AI-centric future for digital business? So there was a group discussion going on regarding really, do we have any scope of artificial intelligence in our Drupal system? Does it really hold any potential that it can go forward with Drupal taking into business consideration in a futuristic business? So these were some of the things that we came around that yes, Drupal can be shaped into a system along with artificial intelligence and machine learning to have a better user and customer experiences. Okay. So some of the use cases of artificial intelligence in our businesses would be as follows. So these are some of the very greater domain aspects. So I won't be deep diving into each of them because this is a very huge domain to talk about. But some of them would be like advanced automated interaction with customer. So for example, there can be a moderation system or a customer interactive system wherein a lot of customer data can be collected, for example, for e-commerce site, and that can be used to analyze all those data, which can be very beneficial for any system. Similarly, we can enhance customer intimacy through a better service system, a better ticketing system by analyzing that what customer demands usually are. So these are some of a very important data around which we can evolve our system. It's again identify the patterns in behavior and leveraging the data for targeting marketing subsequent revenue growth. So similarly, the business expansion depend over the customer feedbacks and customer experiences. Okay. So some of the key areas where I think that Drupal ecosystem can have an open opportunity to integrate AI and machine learning would be content moderation, analyzing customer mood, somewhere for example, in an e-commerce system, we can analyze uh, the product ratings and the comments being added by the user and determine the mood of the customer. So, for example, if there has been consistently negative feedback or negative customer comments over a product, there can be multiple use cases around that. So you can have a notification system that tells your system that these users have commented a very negative comments, and that can be removed from your system instantly along with that product. Similarly, search engine optimization. One of the key advancement in AI is search engine optimization, basically, wherein you can have all the meta tags, all the SEO keywords, and all the marketing things generated by your third parties uh, given a chance in your system as well. Similarly, there has been a lot of conversation around the chatbots integration, and there have been many modules developed around the chatbot with artificial intelligence and machine learning integration. And one of the very important use case is personalization, wherein all the customer data and all the user data is in your system, and you can have a personalized system for them. So, for example, if a user is watching a video which is an action video, and you see that there has been uh, the action videos has been seen by him multiple number of times, so there can be a recommendation and personalization system for him accordingly, where he'll be seeing related videos. And similarly, for a e-commerce website, there can be a case where he's been buying a similar kind of product every time, and you can have a personalized dashboard from him where it just shows the product that he's really interested into. So this is how we are making the machine to learn from the data and evolve as well. Okay, so there have been few problem statement that I have been thinking around for some time as to where this AI and ML thing fits into our system. So there are two major problems that we need solution around is first, you need to analyze how your business is, and you need to check that does the AI model really fit into your system? So do you have a business that can really collaborate with it, or that can really evolve with that AI system? Or do you have any maturity model with some adaptive strategy as your business grows along with that path? So this is the very first question that every business need to ask, that are you ready for this big change, and are you adapted for this change or not? The next thing that would be required is learning about the AI services and the market, and drawing a development strategy around the same as to how do you want to develop your services, what all things that you need to provide to your customer in those services, and really, really studying the market around those models. Okay. So some of the question that we have is, where do we start from? So basically, some of the use case that I'll be trying to solve in my demo would be the CMS. So since we are Drupalists and we be using Drupal from such a long time, we know that CMS is very powerful and versatile tool when it comes for creating content, and that is the power it has for the customers, right? We are moving and making it usable and convenient as day by day as we are evolving and releasing Drupal. So what our aim is to make it usable for non-technical people as well. So some of the problem statement that we have is the content editor usually do not have the knowledge of SEO, content marketing, and content and comment moderation. So usually we have to spend some extra money to outsource some of the people or the agency that are SEO experts, that have the power for content, or more than the writer itself, basically. So I think that we cannot have a perfect system here that solve all these problems, but still we are trying to achieve something to empower the to empower CMS editor with some of these things. Okay, so some of the solution that I've implemented is Azure Cognitive Services API and Google Vision API. So I'll be first talking about Azure Cognitive Service API. So Azure is because providing cognitive services using AI ML, and they have many APIs in their system. So some of them are vision, speech, language, knowledge, and search. So basically, the vision API is going to be responsible for all of the computer vision technologies like face detection, emotions, video tagging, etc. So all the vision API analyzes the images and provide all the important properties and all the relevant data that we can extract from that image or from that video. Similarly, they have multiple speech API that uses custom that we have custom recognition, we have speaker recognition, we have speech recognition wherein we can implement them in a system where we need to have a speech recognition system. Similarly, we have translator that translate all the your speeches to text or some other format as well. Then next is the language APIs. So some of the APIs that provided by Azure are Bing Spell Check that checks your spelling, and you can integrate to enhance or to assist your customers while creating documents. Then there is linguistic analysis that support multilingual text support, and then there are text analytics as well, wherein you can extract more of the gist from your content, create summary around it, extract tags around it. So these are the some of the APIs that has been provided along the language. Next are the knowledge and the search. So these have the academic knowledge, entity linking, and recommendation. I haven't uh, researched much around these, but listed out here just to help you out that these there are still other APIs present as well. So we have Bing web search, Bing image search, Bing video search, and all of the Bing search APIs available as well if you want to integrate any of them in your system. Okay, so next is a Google Vision API. So this is basically an API that has been provided by Google for image analysis. We do have Vision API as well for the Azure, but the Google Vision API is really far better in comparison to the Azure Vision API because it gives a lot of more information around the image, and it's more informative regarding that. Okay, so I've provided a link in this slide wherein the Google Vision API can be tried here, and you can see all of the things that it provides. So basically here is a snapshot of the API that I tried, the Vision API. So faces, objects, label, text, properties, safe search. So these are all the things provided by them. So I just uploaded this image and it gives me all the labels associated with it. For example, people, events, fun, happy, party. So there's a party going on. So it's giving me, it's almost like 50% true. So these all stats are very, this is giving a very elaborative description about these images. Similarly, there is a very helpful text extraction API in this image analysis itself. It gives you the capability to extract text from these images. So you have the block, paragraphs mentioned out here with all the text extracted from these images. Okay. So a lot of people ask, do you think computer will take our job? Yeah, I certainly think so, because these are the things that we can use in our system, and I'll be demonstrating this. So there can be focus keyword and tags generation that can be automated for a content writer, wherein he does not have to spend his time manually creating or thinking about the tags and the relevant tags that he needs to create in his system. And then other would be the keyword suggestion for images. So there's a alt text image suggestion that we can integrate in a system to enhance SEO for the images. Then there is a content moderation that we can have for nudity or any adultery content that we want to have in a system, wherein you want to moderate the content for your editor to check that the content he has uploaded is up to the mark or not. Then there are the meta description creation that you can have around your content as well as your images. And then there can be a author driven sentiment analysis that would be really helpful for any of the content customer engagement. Okay, so before moving on to demo, there's a last thing that is a very interesting thing. This is the text summarization. I think most of you would have came across this text summarization. But this is basically a technique where you can summarize all your content with some of the techniques of extractive and abstractive summarization. So this is used in the case where you have a very content driven site and you really do not want to spend much of the time creating a summary for your content. So the two techniques that we usually have for this summarization is an abstractive as well as abstractive summarization. So basically, extractive summarization works in a way that it extracts some of the content from your document and create a relevant summary around it. Whereas the abstractive summarization pull out the gist of your summary and create a relevant text around it. So extractive is a part of the content itself, but abstractive summarization is just a gist of your content. Okay, finally for the demo. Okay, great. So it was my system just crashed. So luckily I just have another demo in the same system. So please excuse me for today because it's really hard day. Sorry. So I'm just going to start with the image analysis system. So for example, I have, so this is an e-commerce site wherein I'm just going to upload some of my products. So I just would want to check that those products are up to the mark for my editor or not. So being an editor, I'm just going to edit I'm just going to create a content. Okay, for example, I just create an article. Okay, so there might be a problem with this article. So I am just going to check Drupal. I'm going to copy all of this text and add it here. Okay, so I've given two provision to generate extractive summary as well as an abstractive summary here. So if I click over generate abstractive summary, so you can see that an summary has been generated around this content that is quite abstractive. And if I click over an abstractive summary, an abstractive summary has been generated. So if you can see that any of the text here is not taking up, is extracted from here. So this is actually how this works. So an abstractive and abstractive summary generation can be given to the content editor to provide him the flexibility wherein he can he can automate the summary by himself. Moving on to the image analysis. So I'll be just removing this image and adding some other image. Okay. Okay, so this is an image of my product. So the very first thing I can do is to generate my image labels. So I can see that if I click here to generate image labels, I can see clothing, dress, green, fashion, model, shoulder, day dress, satin, cocktail dress, neck, waist. So my work is automated, wherein I have all the text, all the tags that I want to have in these images generated automatically in my system. So similarly, whatever I need, I can add here. I think this is the one that I need to add. If you think dress is something that I need to add here, you can have a dress. Then you think that it's a satin, you can add it here. Then if you see that if it's for the shoulder, you can add it here. So similarly, this is a way where we are actually automating our whole system. Then there is generate image colors. So the vision that I had to generate image color was to have visual search in my e-commerce system. So that is one of the very biggest things that you can actually implement using this. So as I can see that all the colors has been generated here. So I can choose in any of these colors and use it for my visual search, use it as the recommended products around these green color products. So similarly, there can be wide number of use cases around these things. Then another thing that we have here is a safe search detection. So if I click over the safe search detection, it gives me a description about my image. So is it adult? It says very unlikely. It is spoof. It says very unlikely. Is it medical? Unlikely. So here there can be moderation before the content editor publishes this content, just to make sure that any of the content that he's is uploading is not controversial. Great. So this is around the image analysis, and I'll be just saving this system. Okay. So here, just need to buy 5 seconds here because this is my old system. I don't have the right keys here. Okay. So unlike the installation for the Google, the Microsoft Azure API services are really, really very easy to use. So for example, if you want to use any of the text analytics API, you need to just click over Get API. I just use a 7-day trial. And if I go next, and I just single sign on with any of my account. Okay, here. So these are the keys that are being generated, and it is available for the next 7 days. So I've been using a module that is Azure Cognitive Services for Azure Services. And in Text Analytics, I can have the configuration here. So it has saved the configuration. Okay. So the use case that I want to show here is if I go to this product, you can see some of my comments that say such a beautiful bag. The color is so beautiful. And you can see the sentiment score around here. So it says 0.92. And the key phrases around it are bags, colors, and beautiful. So you can analyze your customer engagement with this product and evaluate the sentiment score as to what's the mood of your customer. And with the key phrase, you can extract the information that what is the current topic that your customer are most likely to talk about. So for example, I hope this works. The bag is the worst bag I have ever purchased. Okay, can work. Might be my key just expired. Just gonna sign out. Maybe I'll just skip it since we don't have much time. So what I just wanted to show here is there can be a lot of customer engagement here, and you can get a lot of information from here with the key phrase and the sentiment score regarding how your customer is really talking about in the system. So one of the use case that I can come around with the sentiment score is if you really want to have your brand value intact, then you can have a notification around the comments that if you have a sentiment score less than zero point 0.2 or zero point 0.3, there can be a notification to your moderator or to your admin as to this comment is not apt, and he can remove it from here. And similarly, there can be a quick response system where you see there is an unhappy customer in your system, and you can have an automated system that quickly responds to these comments. And similarly, with the key phrase, there can be a lot of information wherein you can run surveys and you can have a very great ticketing system around or any entity extraction system here with the key phrase ones. Okay. So that's all with the demo, and I'm really sorry about this thing. And these are some of the content references that I've added that might be helpful for all of you to try cognitive services and keyword extraction and how to set up Google Vision API, because I had a few problem with setting up Google Vision API. So this might be a help for all of you who are really trying to start this. And sorry. And thank you, all of you, for being such a great audience and having such a patience. I'm really sorry with my system and all. Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions? Thank you. Thank you all. Okay, yeah, sure, I can do that. I can display those links. Yeah, sure, I can do that. Yeah. Yes, Edgar, it can work really well with the embedded content as well. If worked well, the API is quite skilled enough to analyze the embedded content as well. So basically, Edgar, I have not used the modules much around the Google API because I had not found a really very helpful module or any of the modules that were working really efficiently. So all I did was I installed the Google API as a library in my vendor, and I extracted all those libraries and created services out of here for the same. So you can do anything around that. You can play or anything around that Google library to work with any of your content. Yes, Jordan, we can automatically fill that one with the fields as well. So if you have an Ajax, say like me, I just had a button with an Ajax. So all you can do is extract that data and put it in your fields. So Kevin, I just use Cognitive Service API for just the image sentiment analysis and key phrase extraction thing. But all the Google APIs that I used for my demo were created by myself as a part of the service. I can share that code with you as well. Please do post this question or my Twitter handler at the rate Jyoti2911. I would be really happy to share the code with you. Okay, so um, this is my Twitter handler. Okay, let me see any other questions we have here. Okay, Frederick. Co- Frederick just asked me what modules I'm using. So Cognitive Service API. This is the module that you can find. Okay, there's a question from Jaideep. So he's asking, do we have any data around the cost of using AI or ML versus traditional human or automation we do currently? In which scenarios AI ML can be good to use and in use case it is not? So basically, Jaideep, that's the first analyzation that we used to have in our business is that is your business sufficient? Is your business ready enough to improve over the API or to grow around AI? And yes, the AI ML thing comes with a cost because the Google services and the Azure API services are all paid. Uh, Not really very pricey, but yeah, they come with some of the cost and some of the use cases that it can be integrated in our CMS system is the one that I demonstrated you, where it can be a e-commerce side, and if your business if your client is ready to bear that cost, then you can have a system in your e-commerce website or blogging website or any education website as well. Okay. Here is a question from Escort. So, Scott, there isn't any contrib release of these tools, though there are some of the modules in Drupal.org, not much maintained, not being used around, but you can explore them. So I can I can post in a list of modules that can be helpful for all of you and to explore in my Twitter profile. So you can reach me out here. I'll be posting them on my Twitter handle, posting the information on my Twitter handle. That's Jyoti2911. Thanks, Jero. Thanks, Steven. Okay. Sure, Mike. I would love to add something around the Hemingway analysis for readability. I will sure look around that and have something around there. Yes, Dimitris, it will come with some cost, yeah. Okay, do we have any other questions? Sure, I can do this, Selvin. Okay, since we have some time, what I can do is quickly uh, move you some of the custom modules that I have that might be helpful for all of you, probably some of the question that might be answered. Okay. So this is auto alter. I have tried all these modules and some of them works really well, like Azure Vision APIs. So what it does is it just provides services. So this is nothing but providing a services, calling it APIs. And all you need to do is it is not automated. It does not provide any field formatter or anything like that. So these are just plain services with very old version right now. So I have posted some of the issues around these module as well, wherein they are just supporting the version 1 that is called back version. Like the current version they are having right now is version 3. So these all modules are not being used much though and don't have much of support around it. But yeah, you can explore all of these modules. And in a way I've just I can show you how I have just used one of the Google API. So it's somewhere like this is where I have called annotation client. So image annotation client is basically a Google client class. So this is the Google library that we use, and this is the image annotation client that we can use for our any of the image analysis functions that you want. So you can go and explore all the classes inside the Google Cloud libraries. Okay, that's it. Thank you, all of you. Thank you for being such a great audience. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you all. Okay, Joshua has a question. AWS segregation or Azure development complexity. In integration with Drupal, I did find Azure a bit easy with respect to AWS one, because you have to build all your classes and the services for AWS one yourself, because there is not much of the module development around it. But yeah, Azure do have a module with simple service provided that is really easy to integrate, Joshua. Thanks, Sai. I hope that answers your question, Joshua. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Uh, yes, I can share it with everyone. Maybe I can make it. Yes, I can make it public. Okay, so here's the link of my presentation. Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know 1,300 people were watching me. Great. Oh, so let me know, Jeremy, if you can access that link. Thanks, Sylvan. Okay, so great. Thanks, everyone. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for being patient with me. Thanks a lot. Have a good day, everyone.